Be honest with me. Who did you think that was going to go out?
What was the Big Brother process like for you?
Going from the start or within the
Well,
step of the door when I went
you
down?
could do the whole thing if you like.
Okay, so
How did you feel walking into the house on launch night?
how did I feel walking into launch night? Like, I thought, what am I doing here with these absolute celebrities? Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
they were all
or
so well
soon to
dressed.
be. Hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast. As you can tell, we are both in a great mood today. Well, I'm in a great mood,
I
and
am too. I
yeah,
am too.
I am as well. And we have got Izaaz on the show. Hello.
How are we? And I hope
I'm
everyone's
good.
well.
I'm good. I'm good. Just been busy doing errands and stuff, going for
Yeah.
haircuts and all that. So, yeah,
Oh,
job
I'll need
man.
mine for Friday. I'll need mine for Friday, and that's
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, did you watch Shock Eviction last night?
Crazy. Be honest with me. Who did you think that was going to go out?
Oh God. Okay, this is a hard question. So I think Hannah
Hmm.
and Shagan.
Really?
Yes, I did not expect those two to go.
I'll be honest. I thought Tom just because of everything that I've seen on the outside. Um, didn't expect Sarah. I thought Shegan might be
Me
there as
neither.
well, but I definitely thought Nathan.
Yeah,
I definitely thought Nathan, but I think Hannah is up there for top three. To be honest, I think
yeah.
she's a very strong person in there. But I believe it's between Ali and Cello for me. I think that's gonna grab the final spot.
Oh my God, I absolutely love Ali. I love her. I just think like she's so real. She's portraying her real self, and I think what makes her stand out from the others is that she's like kind to everyone, and also she gives everyone great advice as well. And like the way she was like commenting like Lily, like when she heard the booze as well. I don't know if you saw that, but there was a huge argument between Hannah and Martha on the
Oh,
day of the
I
eviction.
seen that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I spoke about that before. Yeah, carry on. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, and I lost my train of thought. But yeah, they had a massive argument about whether Lily could hear the booze and all that. And then Hannah then told her, oh, they were saying get Lily out, etc. But
Yeah,
I don't think that was a great move because to be honest, if Lily was hearing all that and must be playing paranoia in her head, like think do the public like me, do the not public like me because of what they see. And obviously, I'm sure you got a bit paranoid as well, wondering like, do I get any cheers? Do I get any booze?
I'll be honest. Like with me, it was I knew what I was going in the house for, and it was the experience. I knew the outcome of whether I was going to get booze or hoorays, cheers or whatever it was. The thing was for me is I didn't deep the house. And I think that's what people really don't understand. Like I didn't deep going into the house because I really just wanted to enjoy my time in there.
Yeah,
So I think a lot of people when they went into the house, they very deep like knowing that they're on Big Brother. It's still surreal to me that I was still even on there, you know, to
yeah,
this day. But like for me when I came out, I was nervous of
I
going
could see
out
that.
into a crowd, right?
Yeah,
But I think I was a lot more confident going out than I came in.
really, everyone says that.
Yeah.
Everyone says that. I've heard that in interviews. Okay, is that so? We're going to start with growing up first of all. So, what was it like growing up in Wales?
Growing out in, I'll tell you what, people diss Wales so much, but the community, the people in Wales is such a beautiful place. I don't think I'd be the person I am today if it wasn't for the people of Wales. The Welsh people are the most beautiful, kind-hearted. They're such nice people that you can have a conversation wherever. I'm not saying anything about London, but it's like if you were on the street to have a conversation with someone in Wales, they'll stand and talk to you for about an hour. and
Really?
just take their time out of their day, yeah, just to know how your day went and everything else, and they'll ask you about what you do and everything else. So the reason why I love Wales is just the crowd there. They're so open and beautiful, and they've got such big hearts, So that's why I love Wales. But it's like 30 years behind London. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
As in development and everything else. That's why I'm up in London.
So how do you think it's changed you being in Wales
Uh,
person?
in Wales, I think it's just because look, I think in London people they really they really keep to themselves,
Yeah.
right? So they're very shut off with the outside world. They're just getting on with their busy lives and doing what they want and how they want to do it. And don't get me wrong, it's not everywhere. It's just you
Mhm.
find it a lot when you go on the tube. You can't sit down and have a chat on the tube. Like it's one of those things where a lot of people just stay to themselves because it's probably easier. And you just don't know who the people are, and there's so much, footfall in London, right?
Yeah.
But in Wales, the reason why I'm probably so outgoing and I want to get to know people and stuff like that is because everyone's so up for having a chat and just getting to know each other, you know?
Yeah.
And they don't refrain from doing so. They're not like to themselves in that way. You could go in the middle of a town centre and have a chat with like 10 people so quickly and so easily, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's why it has changed me. And obviously you've got the beautiful scenery, which you can't, miss because it's so beautiful. But yeah, friendly, really friendly. Not saying London's not, it's just a lot more people are to themselves.
Okay, so here we go. This is the Big Brother part. What was the Big Brother process like for you?
Going from the start or within the
Well,
step
we
of the door
can
when I went
you
down?
could do the whole thing if you like.
Okay, so the process of Big Brother has been phenomenal. I think if it wasn't for the production team, I would not be on Big Brother today because they made me feel so comfortable in the whole process. And they were so
Mhm.
cheery and fun. And I don't know how to say it. They just felt like family when you were doing it. It was easy just to get
Yeah.
on with everyone. So the process up going into Big Brother had been probably one of the best experiences for me as well. Um, Being in Big Brother in the actual house, it's tough. Like they, when people say, "Oh, they can do it," la, 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 I'm quite headstrong and I'm quite easy to kind of like get on with things. I found it tough because of the rule breaks and everything else. It wasn't easy because we didn't have much luxuries.
Yeah.
We had hot water taken away from us. We had coffees taken away from us. Food taken away from us. And I just want to put here is that even though they give us non-alcoholic beers and rosé and stuff
Really?
like that.
I thought it was alcohol. So they
Say
don't
again?
get I thought it was
No,
alcohol.
so no, no. So yeah, it is, but like some people don't drink.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So like with me, I'm a bit of a caffeine addict, so I need a bit of caffeine. So even though they treated the other housemates with like alcohol and they had nicotine breaks, whatever, we didn't even get no kind of like, sugary drinks
Oh,
when we
wow.
had no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I literally was flagging because I didn't have nothing in my system to kind of like help me up. So hence why I was probably a bit, flat in the house. But I can't help that because my body was just giving,
Yeah.
like it was just giving. So it was tough. It was really tough at times.
How did you feel walking into the house on launch night?
Had I feel walking into launch night, I think everyone could tell I was nervous. I was really nervous, scared.
Yeah.
Um, the reason why I was is because of the crowd itself. Um, it was just like so many eyes at you, you know.
Yeah.
It was a scary moment, but it was such a beautiful moment because people were cheering at the same time.
So do you hear anything or do you have like to sit in the car and then you have your headphones in?
So they give us kind of like these ear covers before
Hmm.
we actually step on, so we don't hear the crowd.
Okay,
Um,
that's good then.
yeah, and then when it comes to us going into the car, they'll take the covers off, go into the car, you jump out, like literally 2 seconds. They drive out 2 seconds, you jump out, and then you walk out. When I walked out, I was like, oh my god, like because as soon as you drive in, you can see through the windows anyway. People are lined up and they're like
Yeah.
cheering. And it was such a beautiful moment, but I was so like scared that I was zoned out at the same time because I didn't have a clue what Will and AJ was saying, and I was just saying yeah because I was that like gone. I was like I couldn't even see where I was at the
Taking in the
moment.
moment.
Yeah, I was just there, just watching the crowd, and I was just like, what is going on? You know, why am I here? What? How has this happened? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously, for people who saw on launch night, there was a task where Big Brother had asked the housemates who'd entered to either pick red or blue. So I want to know, why did you pick blue?
I guess I like to be there for the whole team, and if I see a smaller group that is by themselves, I'll always go and probably make up for the numbers. So my first thought was, there's so many on the red team. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go on to the blue just because there was only four at the time, and that was Shegan, Khalid, Ryan, and Ali. So I was like, let's make up for the numbers. Let me go to the blue, and plus my son loves blue, so go on the blue team.
Yeah. Make it a bit, equal.
Yeah, even the odds. That's what I was
Okay.
gonna do.
Yeah. Okay. What was your first impression of your housemates?
I thought they were fabulous. Like I thought, what am I doing here with these absolute celebrities? Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they were all
Or
so well
soon to
dressed.
be.
Do you know what I mean? Like, no, because they were so well dressed, they were really well presented, beautiful. I was there with, checkered trousers and a shirt, and I was like, what am I doing here? Everyone's dressed so well,
Yeah.
and they all look fantastic. Honestly, the first impression was, wow, like I'm here with really big personalities, and I can see it straight away, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like, okay, like it's going to be a wild one getting to know everyone.
If you were to put yourself into storage, how do you think you would have coped?
Do you know what? Everyone said, like, I'm not gonna lie, they said they struggled. Like,
Really?
but yeah, yeah, like many in there had struggled being in storage. And I'll be honest, if it was like me having my not having my coffee like caffeine and my foods properly that I was in the house, like how I was already at some
Uh-huh.
point, I'd struggle as well. However, I think I would have liked to experience it just
Okay.
because it would. Yeah, I think I would have liked to experience it because it would have been part of the Big Brother process. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to enjoy the experiences of whatever I did anyway. You know.
Yeah. So I'm guessing you probably would have chosen red if there was like a large number of people on the blue side.
Yeah,
Yeah, if that makes
hundred
sense.
percent. Yeah, yeah, 100%. If there was less people on the red and more people on the blue, I would have went to the red without knowing that what was going on in there. You know.
Did you get along well with everyone?
Sorry, go on.
And if not, who?
I think I got on well with everyone. I think people just kept thinking that I was siding with Ali. I wasn't. I was just there, basically listening in on what they've had to say. There were certain things that I didn't like, and yes, I voiced it to the boys and the girls at times. Um,
Uh-huh.
but realistically, I think I got on well with everyone. I just do feel it's a bit of a shame that it kind of escalated how it did and continued to.
What do you mean escalated?
Just the whole argument between Khalid and Ali, but and how long it continued for.
Yeah.
Um, I was quite gutted that it did carry on how it did, and it ended up becoming these two divided groups. Because I like everyone in there. I don't think Nathan took on to me as well as everyone else, if that makes sense. For some
Yeah.
reason, I think he thought I was completely fake, which is fine.
I don't
You know,
think you were fake at all.
yeah, but you know what? It's in the house. I think everyone just ends up overthinking, if that
Uh-huh.
makes sense. So
Yeah.
like when you're in a space with 15 other people, you just start to, I guess, thinking like, what if they, try to do you over or whatever it is. With me, I went in and I was just like, if they do me over, they do me over. Because there was a conversation with the boys and Khalid was like, so if you don't have anyone's back in you, I said no, and I don't expect anyone to have mine. So I've come in there trying to just be me. I just want to end up enjoying the time I have there with everyone because everyone was there the same time as me.
Can I just jump in quick? Was that
Yeah.
conversation Ed? And Did we see
I
it?
don't know. I haven't got looked back. I don't know if it was, but
Okay.
we sat down on in the upstairs, and he asked me the question of, but you need people to have your back, and I said no, because I don't expect them to have mine, you know.
Yeah.
So I've never expected anyone to have my back. I just want them to pick it for their reasons that they believe, you
Because
know.
everyone was in it for themselves while
But
in the house.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I wasn't there to play any games. Don't get me wrong. Like at the end of the day, if I got 100 grand, great. However, I wanted to experience it being me, being in there. And I think that and when they asked me actually when I had my interviews and stuff, they said, "Do you think you'd do anything different to who you are?" I said, "No. I think me is enough for me being in Big Brother, you know."
Yeah, and of
And I
course.
think that's all I could give. And look, I didn't get to the final, but I'm so happy that the others have, and someone is going to win it, regardless of
Yeah.
who it is. Even if Nathan won it, even though look, he thinks differently of me or whatever. Look, he went in to win Big Brother. Fine, good
But you
on
see,
him.
I don't think Nathan is gonna win.
I don't
I
think so.
I think Ali's gonna win because, she's just iconic. Let's put it that way.
Ali, I think, has been misrepresented through the whole series
I
for me.
agree. 100%.
Um, However, um, I think it's between Ali and Cello, and I believe Cello has been misrepresented as well. I'm sitting there and I'm like, look, I've been in the house, I've spoke to Cello, I know what he's about, even though he doesn't feel the same about me. I still think he's a great guy because of his values and the stuff that he's spoken to me about on a
Yeah.
personal level. Like I know his background and what he's been through, and obviously he's a youth worker as well. So maybe yeah, his chat is sometimes off because of some things he says, and I get it because I was myself like, whoa, okay, fair enough. But
Yeah.
it's just the person he is, and then he's never really got on the bad side of anyone in the house, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw, but Sarah kept calling him aggressive because of his tone, which I thought again that was misrepresented. What's your opinions on that?
My question when I have a call with Sarah is, that point where they were in the kitchen and
Yeah.
he took a step forward. I
Uh-huh.
felt like that was Cello just being Cello.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, was that him just being him and putting on a loud voice and acting as Cello does? Or was that him actually being angry? Because I don't think he actually was.
I don't think he was either. I
Personally, I don't think he was, but I just think it's the way the camera's taken it.
yeah.
It's really shown like a very, I guess, bad angle of Cello at that point.
Also, I don't know if you noticed the iconic moment from Hannah in the dining room with the constant rule breaks. Were you there? I'm not sure if you were.
I wasn't.
Where she said, "We don't even have sugar, we don't even have tea, we don't even have Cocoa Pops. I'm not built
Do you
for
know
this
what?
life."
Hannah is a funny girl. Honestly, she
She
is such a
is.
fun. She is such a part of me. She is such a funny girl. Like the thing is, people don't understand. Every person in there has an own character, and there's someone out there that will love that character.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I think people forget like they are only human. All of them are only human. They have their own lives, you know. And I feel like when I see some posts and people getting really kind of like deep with how they feel about these people, really like annoys me sometimes because I'm just like, these guys have a life on the outside. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
agree.
yeah, so for me, it's like, guys, just enjoy the show. If you have your opinions and stuff, say it, but don't personally attack them for who they are. And I don't
Uh-huh.
like that when someone's personally, because for me, it's like, imagine if they're saying it to you or your family or your kids or
Yeah.
it's like you won't like it.
Mm. Yeah.
So I get they're trying to voice certain things about people, the way they're acting, and I get it, but when you're personally attacking them, speak to them on the outside first before you do. You
I
know?
agree. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. That obviously, because of that moment now, she's gone global. Like she went absolutely viral. I think all over the world. So, going on that, what do you think your most viral moment was while you were in the house? If, if you had
what
one.
Probably for like 2 minutes. It probably was that bagel gate, which I couldn't believe how far that went, and I didn't understand how much they actually made an episode of Bagel Gate. But that was funny, and probably the 12-hour shift.
I remember that. You dressed up as a policeman, you had to stand outside. Not the real
Yeah,
number 10 before everybody jumps in and
yeah,
asks in the comments. It was actually in the Big Brother house, the number 10, where they dressed up as the police, they stood outside and they weren't allowed to move anywhere. And to think that
no,
you won at that task as well, and then lost the budget again because of people talking about nominations. You
yeah.
guys, you guys must have had like a world record.
Me, me and Tom are the only people I believe in the house that's never broken a rule.
And I saw that, and along as well as everyone else did.
And we've done every single task that was asked. So no one there in no one on the outside can say we didn't do our bit because we finished every single task. We didn't break a rule, and we actually enjoying ourselves in there, even though sometimes it got hard. But we did actually enjoy with everyone in there, you know.
Yeah, and I can tell you were getting a bit pissed off about the constant rule breaking. I would be.
Yeah, like for me, it was like everyone. If I'll be honest, if I did it in the house, let me tell you now, the people that would kick off straight away would make it something so big, and I wouldn't be. Do you know what it was? I just couldn't be bothered for it. You
And
know.
then whenever it was someone else, oh yeah, that's fine, go ahead and do it.
Exactly, exactly. But if it was me, I can guarantee you that it would have been a huge fuss.
Really?
Huge, yeah, 100%.
How big do you think it would have gone? Would it have
I,
gone
I
one
reckon
episode,
it.
two
I
episodes?
reckon. I reckon it'd be a whole episode on it. And
Really?
do you know what? Yeah, and I was like, I can't be bothered to be in the midst of drama. I'm gonna finish my tasks and
Yeah.
get it over and done with. But like on a real level, though, I did want to do the tasks anyway. You know, so I quite enjoyed them.
I'm quite proud of you for doing the task because even when you didn't want to participate and you were tired because of the coffee situation, you did it. I mean, that's proper dedication.
No, I would have done any task asked. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, do you know when? I don't know if it's shown it, but I was just like, "F this! I'm not gonna do it. I'm not doing the next task." I was actually playing on it just to be like having a bit of banter, but I actually was ready to do it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I was tired and angry because I was Big Brother didn't let me sleep enough at all because every time I tried going to sleep, they'd wake us up or whatever it was. Do you know what I mean? You
The alarm.
couldn't really get. Um, they'll just say this is Big Brother. You can't sleep in the day. Blah blah blah. So like as much as people think that I was only doing 24 hours, me and Tom literally didn't sleep the next day until night, and we were absolutely battered. Like Tom's young. He's 20. He's got a lot of energy. I run off caffeine. I didn't have none of that, and it was just, overwhelming being awake for so long.
You see, that's where I thought that was unfair because they should have let you had like at least a day's rest.
Oh,
I would have
do you
been
want to know a little
fuming.
insider on this as well?
Oh,
So
this is
right?
the place to spill the
I
tea.
I actually forgot about this, but I haven't actually told any radio station about this. But this. So when we finished the task, so
Yeah.
Big Brother let us know 15 minutes before, saying when the housemates awake, the cabinet can come outside fully dressed and let us
Uh-huh.
go back in to the bedrooms. It took them an
Really?
hour. Yeah, it took them an hour to get ready, about 45 minutes to an hour to get ready and come out. When they
Big
got told
Brother.
that they could come out, no, the cabinet. So it would have been Khalid, um, Emma, Days, and who else was it? Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because they were getting ready and stuff, brushing their teeth and all that, it took about 45 minutes to an hour to come out. And I was fuming. I was just like, get out. Yeah, I was like, come out, let us
Oh my
in.
God.
Because Big Brother said if you end up leaving your station, you'll fail the task. Yeah, we won the task, but they took an extra hour to come out. And I was fuming. Me and Tom were like, just
An
get out.
hour.
Basically, I think they were like doing their teeth, getting ready and stuff, which is fine, but they needed to go into their whole outfit.
Oh, and you weren't allowed to, or were you allowed
We
to? Just to
we weren't
clarify.
allowed we weren't allowed to move from our station until the cabinet came outside for us to go in.
That's muggy. That's so muggy.
It's funny though, but like when at the time we were fuming, but then when we thought about it, we were laughing because we are like, bloody hell, man, that was a crazy, crazy day. And the fact that everyone thought, like it'd be, they can just do it and they're just staying awake. They're out of their minds. They're out
And
of their minds. It was a hard task.
I love how Big Brother has one rule for others and another rule for you guys. It just doesn't make sense. Fair rules for
Yeah.
everyone.
Do you know what the thing about Big Brother is the whole thing about Big Brother is to do or get a reaction out of people,
Yeah.
you know? And that's the and people kind of like bought into it a little bit as well. Um,
Um,
but again, they would because if certain things were said or whatever else, you'd probably buy into it. But they've done a really good job. Big Brother's done a really good job this year, I believe.
did you watch last year's series? I don't know if you did.
Yeah, I did actually.
What do you think of it?
I thought our year probably had been more entertaining, maybe
I
just
agree.
because. Do you know what I mean? Like, not saying they weren't. But I just felt like it was probably a lot more kind of like entertainment based. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed your series, to be fair. I liked it. I thought it was
Yeah,
entertaining. Like, the housemates were like all great this
yeah.
year. We had people who we'd never seen before, and now everyone knows them. And you know what? I'm so glad I'm talking to you about Big Brother, because before Big Brother I didn't even know you, and now I do. Isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't it great?
it's fantastic. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
So let's
But
talk
I'll
about.
be honest though, last year's cast was amazing though, and all well, most of them have actually, dropped me a message, which is beautiful, and they were like, just saying how well I've done and stuff like that. So it was really nice for them to do so. So
Oh,
big up the last year's cast.
yeah, and also if any of them, drop a message to you, please do tell them about my podcast. I'd love to have them on. I'd really
Yeah,
love to have them
yeah,
on. Like, this is the place to spill the tea. It's the place to spill the gossip. I
yeah.
want to hear everything. How did it feel, when you heard it was going to be an eviction on Fridays? Like, were you comfortable
I
with
knew,
it?
I knew I was going out.
Did you?
Yeah, like in the house, you can ask anyone in the house. I literally said to them, I'm out. Like I was so confident that I was going. I was so ready. I don't know if you saw the clip where I think AJ said my name and I stood up and
I saw
she
that. Yeah.
she
On
then went around and then she said my name again and I went out. But I as soon as she said my name, I knew I was out. Like I was ready to go, you know?
Yeah. You must have been so excited to see your son, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like that was probably the first thing I couldn't wait to do, going back. And it was amazing. I obviously FaceTime him straight away, which was beautiful. Um, yeah, it was really good.
So what was the reaction like from the crowd when you got out? Was it like mixture? Was it booze? Was it cheers?
Well, I personally heard a lot more cheers. I didn't really hear any boos. I don't think I heard any. But it was such a warm welcoming out. It was crazy, you know.
Yeah.
Um, the people. Do you know what's funny though? Going on the late and live, and then the audience there. They were fantastic. They were so
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, yeah,
Do you know what I love? I love how like they boo them when they say their name and then they're like, oh yeah, when they come out. It's just odd. Do you know what I mean?
I guess it's just a bit of TV though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like everyone wants to kind of like put something out there to make it a bit more entertaining. And that's why I wasn't really too bothered whether I got booze or yays. I would have loved to know why I got the booze though, because that's what I would have been like, spill me the tea. What have I done for people to boo me? And if they
Yeah.
did, I would have thought it would have been Bagelgate, like on a
Yeah.
real level, you know?
Bagel was just ridiculous. Like wasn't really necessary, do you think?
Unbelievable. Like I was just like, how funny is it that it's gone that far? Like in all fairness, right? It wasn't me who actually spread it
So who
because
did?
I think it was Shagan because he's the one who said it on the sofa.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So because the person that I spoke to, if you remember that scene, and I said to put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Um. So It was to sorry, people were waving up at me from the
No,
outside. Um,
it's fine.
it, it was to Shagan that I was speaking to, saying I believe it should have went in the fridge because Emma, Nathan, Days, or Khalid could have ate it later. But the
Yeah.
reason why they threw it was because they didn't trust the people in the house.
Wow. Trust
Because
is a
they
big thing.
and that's where I said, oh, so you don't trust people. That's why you threw it. Just say that then.
So was
Do
this
you know what I mean?
before? So was this while the cameras were airing or before?
Cameras are always airing. The cameras are always recording. But obviously they'll only get certain bits in there. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So that
Um,
what I was meant to say was that did this bit get recorded or did it not?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, so a little insider then. Great. Mhm.
Yeah, so I don't think I mean I haven't really watched anything back yet. I've been only seeing the recent ones, but um so yeah, when I said it, I think Shagan went back and said to people maybe around the sofa where like obviously I said for it to be in the fridge or blah blah blah, and then it just ended up spreading. People came up to me, started talking to me about it. Me and Hannah sat down, and actually this is a funny one. Me and Hannah sat down at the dining table, and she said, "Look, I wouldn't throw food myself." And I
Yeah.
said, yes, same. Like personally, I wouldn't throw it, yeah. But I said to Hannah on the table, I was just like, look, it's not a bother. I just want to just make sure that they know that they could have put it in the fridge. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when I went to the bedroom, that's when Dean said, "Did you have a problem?" And I said, "No." Like obviously, I'd rather it not be thrown in the bin, and someone could have ate it later. And it just blew out of context after that.
Yeah, because there's no point wasting food, isn't there?
Yeah, and we were on rations anyway. And it had
Yeah.
halloumi in it, if I'm sure. And I like halloumi.
Yeah.
So who
I
would want to
I
throw halloumi away?
I mean like they should have just saved it. Like, like if someone else wanted to eat it.
Save the bagels.
Yeah,
Save the damn bagels. Do
hashtag
you
save the bagel.
know what I mean?
That's probably going to be the new hashtag. Okay, so now this is where you really get to spill the tea.
Yeah,
Okay, so this is where you really get to spill the goss. Gotta have your coffee. Love it.
go for it.
So, are you planning to see anyone at the final on Friday? And if so, who?
My plan. I'm going to be seeing everyone on finals.
Okay.
So everyone's going to be there.
Are you still in WhatsApp groups with any of the housemates? And if so, who?
So we've got all the evictees in there except for Rosie,
Oh, find
because
her
I
on
believe,
Instagram.
huh?
I can't find her on Instagram.
She doesn't have socials.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so she doesn't have social. So we're trying to get in touch with her. And I believe we probably won't until Friday because obviously no one can get in contact with her because no one knows her number. And Big Brother's not allowed to give her number out because of GDPR. So unfortunately, we can't get it unless someone gives it to us or we get authority from her to give us her number.
Oh,
But I
really?
can't wait to, yeah, I can't wait to get her number and just drop her a message and have a little FaceTime with her. Because I've got so much love for Rosie. Honestly, she's such a beautiful soul, and I'll keep saying it. She is probably the most genuine person in that house.
Yeah. Did you ever think she and Nathan were going to get together?
Never blew my mind when it happened, but look, I'm happy if it does happen. And she said on Late and Live that she really likes him, so I hope it works out for her. If she likes him, I'm all for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll probably see a wedding soon. Fingers
Ah,
crossed.
can you imagine?
I
I won't
know.
be getting invited by Nathan. Let me tell you that.
Why is that though?
No, no, no. I'm joking. I'm only joking. I'm joking.
Who do you want to win?
Um, who do I want to win? My top two, either one can have it. Ali more probably just because obviously I've been and got to know her since day one. And she's never changed with me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
She's always been the same with me. She's never really cracked at me or anything like that. So it's been quite nice to just have conversations. I mean, look, listen, she's a 38-year-old woman who's quite mature.
Is she 38?
And she's 38. Yeah,
Wow.
unbelievable. A person who
I
looks like that at 38, fair play.
I was
Do you know what I
expecting
mean?
a lot younger.
Yeah, trust me, when I first went in there, I thought she was at least my age
Yeah.
or less. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, she's 38 years old. And I think just because of life itself, I think we connected quite well as well.
Yeah.
Both being one of the adults in there,
Mhm.
in sense of like the older ones. Um, Not saying the others are not adults because everyone's adults over 18.
Yeah.
But I mean the older group. I think there was only four of us who was above the 29 mark, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think more towards Ali. However, even though Cello, had his view and opinion on me, I do still think he's a great guy. So he'd be up there. And I think if I was to say anyone who would be next would probably be Hannah.
Yeah. Okay. You're okay, so now we've done top three. Now final two.
Ali and Cello.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the winner out of that?
Well, to be fair, like I don't know who's the winner, but I believe Ali for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can agree with you on that one.
But
And
I do feel it's close between Ali and Cello, just because they got both love and hate on the outside, but they've got the support there as well, you know. So it's going
yeah.
to be a very close one, I believe, between them two.
Okay. And how did you feel, doing the number 10 task? Just quickly.
Do you know what? I feel I'm glad I did it. I didn't really expect to be so tired out of it, to be honest. If I was able to move around the living space and everything else,
Yeah.
I think it would have been a lot better because then I could have, ran around, had a bit of fun. It just takes away the fun, doesn't it, when you're just stuck in one place?
Yeah.
Because I can imagine me and Tom having absolute banter whilst we could run around the house.
Yeah,
If we
I
were able
mean,
to like run upstairs, mess up the sofas, do you know what I mean? Like we would have been like cooking loads of crap. Um, yeah, like I think it was just a bit of a shame that we didn't know how long we could actually stay in our zone because
yeah.
they said they'll fail us if we stay there too long. And plus, we couldn't sit down um, more than about 30 seconds to a minute, I believe.
Oh wow. So you did get breaks, but they weren't shown.
No, no, but like we had to stand up the whole way through,
The
but because
whole
we didn't want
way.
to, yeah, yeah. So we couldn't sit down because we were scared that we'd break the task or lose the task. So we didn't sit down long amount of times because we felt like we'll end up losing the task, you know. So we probably only had a few breaks at most.
Oh wow. I thought, you did really well at that task. And then to
We
do
still had to be awake, but we had to be standing all the way through.
awake.
Yeah,
So not only did you just stand out throughout the night outside the number 10, but you also had to be awake. How did you have energy for that?
we
If there
didn't.
was no coffee?
We didn't. Like fair play to Tom. I think I nearly fell asleep about four times. Like my body clock was pretty much like going. So I kind of fell asleep, like nearly fell asleep even four times, and Tom kicked me. Like he had to wake me up. Like I nearly went, and I was glad that he kept waking me up. Otherwise, we would have failed it. But to be fair, even if we failed it, right, it was only 10 points for that task, and we would have still won the budget.
Yeah. And do you agree that Emma was the main mother of the house? Like, because she obviously like looked after everyone. She looked after a lot of the young ones as well.
Yeah, I would say, look, I think Emma possibly was the mother of the house, yes, and I believe I probably was the father of the house. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was, I think that's just because we're both parents and we kind of looked at everyone as like our own, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, when you have kids, it's different, isn't it? You kind of like have a different love towards people, the way you see people and everything else. So,
Of course.
um, I think that's why I was how I was in the house because of that as well. Just because my point of view, my POV was so different to everyone else's.
Wow. Okay, a lot of goss there. Izaaz, thank you so much. Thank
All
you.
right,
We've covered everything. Great.
fantastic. Look, thank you so much for having
Oh
me,
wait, let me
Anmol.
stop
Um,
recording.